My audience. Religion is a plague that has consumed us for far, far too long. I don't think that people know what they're actually following. I've done the research on this topic, and my goal today is not to bash religion. It is simply to bring upon a new outlook on religion. Today I will discuss the misinterpretation, the history, the regression, the freedom, and the diversification of religion. Firstly, the misinterpretation of religion, the Word of God. In American society, we know it as the Bible. This is the cause of many global catastrophes such as 9/11, the Holocaust, Salem witch trials, and many wars. All of these based off of religion. Misinterpreting the Word of God also strikes fear into people. We use it as a tool for control. The word religion is based off of the Latin term religio, which can be translated into the fear of God. However, my biggest issue with religion, it is the epitome of hypocrisy. Dan Barker wrote a book called Losing Faith in Faith, and it has numerous examples of how religion is a hypocrisy. A quote from his book says, "Though he said, 'Thou shalt not kill,' he ordered death for all opposition," in Exodus 32:27. He's a sadist who created hell to torture unbelievers and created evil in Isaiah 45:7. Now, Dan Barker is not just some guy who stumbled upon these facts. Dan Barker was actually a preacher who studied the Bible for many years. So why, knowing these facts are true, do we still believe in this God? Moving on to the history and evolution of religion. Religion started off based upon the good thought of spirituality. Spirituality can be summed up into the belief in loyalty to justice and compassion that helps us make us better people. It went from spirituality to what we know as modern religion, which is the tool for control and power. Modern religion also claims to know answers that nobody can truly know the answer to. Thus, it lies, for example, saying they know what happens after death, when no one truly can know that. But they claim this to gain control and brainwash people. It also creates rules, the commandments. These are things that we already know. They claim that without the commandments, we would all be corrupt. But we all know that what morality is, what good judgment is. And a quote from True Detective, it says, "If the only thing keeping a person decent is the expectation of divine reward, then brother, that person is a piece of shit. We don't need these commandments to understand what right and wrong is. We already know that as human nature." It also steals our autonomy, which brings us to the lack of freedom that religion has over us. Religion controls every aspect of our lives, from the simplest thing to how we define dates. For example, BC and AD, those are religious terms. There's also the separation of the church and state, which is the biggest joke ever told. The word God is used in our national anthem. How less separated can you get from that? We fear religion in schools, and we're ridiculed for asking questions. Bertrand Russell is a famous philosopher who wrote the book, Why I'm Not a Christian. He studied religion for many, many years, and a quote from his book states, "I should wish to see a world in which education is aimed at mental freedom rather than at imprisoning the minds of the young in a rigid armor of dogma, calculated to protect them through life against the shafts of impartial evidence." Now, simply put, he's saying that children are taught what we want them to be taught, what religion has brainwashed the government to teach them. Moving on to God and how it diversifies us. Why would God not create us in a way that we already believe in Him? If He would have done this in the first place, there would not be this debate. We would already know what happens after death and where we come from and all that. Yet, if He does exist, He doesn't come through with it and tell us. Yet, so we get diversified and we all believe in different gods, and it separates us as humans. Today I've discussed the misinterpretation, the history, the lack of freedom, and the diversification of religion. I dislike religion for all these reasons, and I hope you can understand that. We shouldn't need God for the idea of faith and good judgment. God has become a misconstrued poison to corrupt society.